Welcome back, everyone. Today we're heading to the Caribbean, specifically the island of Hispaniola.
Beautiful place.
It is, and we're going on a search for a fascinating little-known creature.
Oh,
It's called the Haitian Nesophontes. Ever heard of it?
can't say that I have, no. Sounds kind of mythical, like something straight out of a legend.
It does, right? But it was a real animal. Picture this, a tiny shrew, but with a story interwoven with the history of island ecosystems.
Sounds intriguing. I'm all ears.
We've got some excerpts from a scientific text all about this animal, and we're going to deep dive into it.
Love a good deep dive.
Me too. Our mission today is to uncover its story, understand the role it played in its world, and figure out why its fate should matter to us even today.
Let's get to it. What can you tell me about this Haitian Nesophontes?
Well, from what I gathered, the Haitian Nesophontes, or Nesophontes zamicrus, that's its scientific name, was a small mammal,
Okay.
and it belonged to a very unique family now extinct.
Extinct. Oh, that's already a bit sad.
Yeah, and this family was found only in the Caribbean.
Interesting. So we're talking about a very specific and unique creature here.
Exactly. And, it might seem like just another ordinary shrew at first glance.
Yeah, I was picturing a shrew in my head.
But the Nesophontes is a really captivating example of evolution at work. You see, it shows how life can adapt to these isolated environments like islands.
Makes sense. Islands tend to have unique species because of their isolation.
Right. Now, I'm really curious. If we could hop into a time machine and travel back to see the Haitian Nesophontes in its natural habitat, what would we see? Paint me a picture.
All right, picture this. The sun is setting on Hispaniola. The sky is ablaze with color.
Beautiful.
As darkness starts to fall, the Haitian Nesophontes emerges, ready for its nightly activities. This little guy was nocturnal.
Ah, a creature of the night.
Precisely. It means it was most active after dark, and as an insectivore, it would use its heightened senses to hunt for insects and other tiny creatures hiding in the undergrowth.
I bet its long snout came in handy for that.
You bet. It would have been poking into every nook and cranny, searching for a meal.
I can almost see it now. Did it have any other, special adaptations?
Absolutely. Along with its elongated snout, it had rows of sharp teeth, perfectly designed for grabbing and devouring insects.
Wow. Sounds like a very specialized little creature.
It was, and that actually highlights an important point about these specialized species.
What's that?
They're masters of their specific niche.
Yeah, I get that.
But any disruption to that niche can have, well, pretty dramatic consequences.
That makes a lot of sense. And unfortunately, it sounds like a disruption was on the horizon. We know that humans eventually arrived on Hispaniola. I can only imagine that had a significant impact on the Nesophontes.
You're absolutely right. Sadly, human arrival in the Caribbean, as in many places around the world, brought a wave of change, and not always good change.
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to say that.
It's a common story, unfortunately. In this case, it was the introduction of invasive species.
Oh no, like what kinds of invasive species?
We're talking rats, cats, and mongooses, just to name a few.
Those are some tough competitors.
They were really bad news for native inhabitants, like the Nesophontes. Suddenly, it faced competition for resources, and even worse, new predators.
I can't even imagine. This poor creature evolved for centuries in a relatively stable environment.
Right, and then boom, everything changes.
This just breaks my heart. It's a tragic pattern that we see repeated across so many island ecosystems.
It really is.
So beyond the invasive species, how else did human activities impact the Nesophontes and its habitat?
Deforestation and agriculture. Those two played a huge role in shrinking the Nesophontes' habitat, leaving them with fewer places to hide and hunt.
Oh, that's awful.
It's like squeezing them into an ever smaller space, with fewer and fewer resources.
So given all these pressures, what do we know about what happened to the Haitian Nesophontes? Did scientists figure out when it went extinct?
Well, that's a question that researchers are still trying to fully answer.
So it's a mystery.
Kind of. We do have those bones found in caves. We call those subfossil evidence.
Right, I've heard of those.
And that hints that they might have survived for a while, even after Columbus arrived in the Caribbean. But sadly, no one has seen one in centuries.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. Based on the available evidence, scientists now consider the Haitian Nesophontes extinct.
It's a sobering reminder that extinction isn't something that only happened in the past. It's happening now. The story of this tiny shrew shows us how human actions can have these ripple effects through an entire ecosystem,
You said it.
sometimes even leading to the complete disappearance of a species.
And that's the thing. The loss of any species, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, disrupts this delicate web of life.
It's all connected.
Exactly. And the Nesophontes extinction is a stark reminder, a really powerful one, of how vulnerable island ecosystems are and the profound impact we humans can have on biodiversity.
So stepping back, what lessons can we take away from this story, from the Haitian Nesophontes? What does it teach us?
For me, the Nesophontes story emphasizes the importance of understanding island biogeography.
Right? How life adapts in these unique, isolated environments.
Yeah, and the long-term consequences of our actions, as humans. Most importantly, though, it's a call to action.
What do you mean?
We have to prioritize conservation efforts. That means protecting the remaining habitats, controlling those invasive species we talked about, and advocating for sustainable practices.
Those are all so important.
Absolutely.
Well, even though the Haitian Nesophontes is gone, it leaves behind a powerful legacy. It reminds us that even the smallest creatures play a vital role in their ecosystems, and that our actions have consequences, often far-reaching ones.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
This whole story makes me wonder, though, what other hidden stories of interconnectedness are still out there, waiting to be discovered? What can we do in our own lives to help protect the incredible biodiversity that still exists on our planet?
That's a great question. And I think it's one we all need to be asking ourselves.
I agree.